The Houston Texans are coming off one of the most impressive seasons in a very long time, maybe even that I've ever seen, going from one of the worst teams in the NFL to one of the best by just adding a quarterback, a new head coach, and making them play to their fullest potential. A lot of guys had massive years under this head coach right here, DeMeco Ryans, and Stroud looks like the potential future of not only the Texans, but maybe even the NFL. Now in this video, there is some major news going around the NFL right now, having to do with, regarding with these two guys right here, right? Stroud, DeMeco Ryans. These guys are rumored to be going all in and are right now currently the favorites to sign one big fish free agent running back on the market right now. Now, do me a favor real quickly before we break down and get into the deep things of this video. Do me a favor and comment down below one position of need that you think the Texans need to acquire this offseason. What position group is needed the most? But in this video, we're going to be specifically breaking down one of the best running backs in football, Saquan Barkley. And I also want to break down why I think this move to acquire Saquon could change everything for the Houston Texans next season and even make them Super Bowl contenders in just year 2 of this new quarterback, head coach, potential greatness here in Houston. Now, the big news that I've been hearing all over NFL media is this man right here. Saquan Barkley is scheduled to become a free agent this season, and the Houston Texans are the favorite to land him right now alongside the Baltimore Ravens. But Saquon Barkley could change everything for this Houston Texans offense. We're going to talk all about it right now. Now, the first thing I want to bring up in terms of why this would be a good fit, right? It just makes sense, right? Number one thing we should talk about is the cap space that the Texans are about to have. And right, the number one thing that they needed to improve the most going into this offseason is the running back situation. Now listen, I like Devin Singletary, I like Dameon Pierce, I think they're good running backs. But are they that difference maker that you need in a running back? No, they're not. Now, to prove that, let's talk about what they ranked last season. The Houston Texans ranked number 29 in yards per rush, number 25 in rush attempts per game, number 28 in rush yards per game, and number 25 in rushing touchdowns per game. Guys, think about it for just 1 second. If you're able to run the football, how much more does that open up the passing game for your offense? I mean, just take a look at Baltimore this season. Their running game was so good. They were, not even arguably, they were the best rushing offense in all of football. And yeah, that comes a lot from Lamar Jackson. But did we see how good of a quarterback Lamar Jackson became? Just think about how good C.J. Stroud is already without a running attack. Now, just imagine, right? Imagine this guy right here, Saquon Barkley, right? He can run the football like no other. He can catch the football like no other. And quite frankly, Saquon Barkley is nasty. Just a year ago, in 2022, had over 295 touches, over 1,300 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, and 4.4 yards per carry. Not only that, but he's steadily bringing in over 200 pass or receiving yards a season. Go back to his rookie year, 721 yards and 4 touchdowns throughout the year, right? Go back to this year, only 41 catches compared to 91, but he had 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. This man could change everything for this Texans offense. Now, before we jump into the next reason Saquon Barkley would be a unbelievable fit here in Houston, do me a big favor, guys, and hit that like button, right? Let's get this video out to more Texans fans around the world, but also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and I'm going to be covering the Texans for the rest of the offseason. And listen, I guarantee you, the day it breaks, right, because at this point, I'm kind of locked in. I want Saquon Barkley in Houston. I think it would be amazing, but once that news does drop, I'm locked in. I'm posting a video right away. I'm going to show the world I was right, and this is actually going to happen. So subscribe, join the family. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and like I said, Texans videos for the rest of the season. And lastly, real quickly, go check out BetUS, guys. Link in the description. But they are the best sports book on the market. Live sports, regular sports casino, a live casino in general, horse racing. They have literally everything you can think of. They just gave away Super Bowl tickets, which makes me think, what are they going to do next, right? And then, right, you can bet on the odds right now for Saquon Barkley landing in Houston as well. Go check it out, link in the description, and they'll match your first deposit up to 125%. Basically, just giving you guys free money to play with from here on out. Now, Saquon Barkley is 27 years old, was a former second overall draft pick out of Penn State back in 2018. He's rushed for over 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns over 6 seasons in New York while making the Pro Bowl in 2018 and 2022. Now, last year, he was unable to reach that contract extension with New York. We see it a lot with running backs in the NFL nowadays, but now, listen, he's still in the prime of his career. Yes, injuries do burden what he tries to do. Obviously, staying healthy is the most important thing in the NFL, especially as a running back. But I think that with everything going on, if they can bring him in on a 2 or 3 year deal, this would be perfect for both sides, right? I think he would be a little bit more expensive than the Derrick Henry, but I think he would be a little bit better than a guy like Devin Singletary. We know how good he is, out the backfield. We know how good he is catching the football out the backfield as well as you see here. Unbelievable route, unbelievable touchdown catch there by Saquon Barkley. I mean, the things that he does are insane. Now, if he does really hit the market, he's going to be a player that a lot of teams want on their team, right? A lot of NFL teams are going to want to, or they're going to see Saquon Barkley and be like, we have to get him. Now in Houston, they have, a dynamic offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowick who can really utilize a guy like this as well. But there are other free agents, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, DeAndre Swift, Derrick Henry. But there is also some other names that we really do need to talk about here, at least for the Houston Texans. Now, another thing to look at here for the Houston Texans is the free agent situation, right? Devin Singletary is most likely, or potentially at least, going to leave this team. He might come back. Dare Ogunbowale, the number 2 running back for, some sort of the season, he's scheduled to be a free agent as well. And then you have Dameon Pierce, who, listen, I like Dameon Pierce. I think he's a good running back. I think he can help get some tough yardage. But I think he could be the perfect running back alongside Saquon Barkley, not only to keep him healthy, right, get him some breaks on the sideline, but also it can help this 1-2 punch keep both these guys, their stamina up to par and where it needs to be. I think Saquon Barkley, right, fits what they're trying to do as a championship contender. 1, 2, helps them in the running game where they need to improve the most, but also improves their chances of catching the football out of the backfield as well, as adds them a crazy and insane 1-2 punch here in Houston. Now, like I said before, comment down below, do you think this is a good fit, or would you rather go out and get a much cheaper Derrick Henry for maybe just one season compared to a guy like Saquon Barkley, who you might have to pay for a majority of the next 3-4 seasons, or maybe even 2 seasons. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. Saquon's insane. Or lastly, would you rather go out and bring in a guy like Joe Mixon, or bring in Devin Singletary once again for another season here in Houston as well? Let me know what you guys think about this running back situation.